Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
In the previous episode, Duryodhana carefully surveyed the mighty Pandava army. One after another, he named the great warriors standing before him. At first glance, his words appear to be a simple description of the enemy's strength, but beneath those words lay something deeper. Duryodhana was not merely informing his teacher, he was revealing his own state of mind. His words revealed that he took the Pandava army very seriously, and having assessed the strength before him, he now turns to the strength that stands beside him, almost as though reassuring both his teacher and himself that the Kaurava forces too possess warriors of extraordinary strength. He begins by saying,
अस्माकन्तु विशिष्टाये तान्निबोध नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
the meaning of the above verse is, but, O best among the twice born, please also know the distinguished leaders of my own army. For your information, I shall now name them. Before naming the warriors, Duryodhana respectfully addresses Dronacharya as Dvijottama, the best among the twice born, a title reserved for highly learned Brahmins. He then says that he will identify the principal commanders of his own army. Let's see, what does it actually mean? Notice how Duryodhana's tone has changed. Until now, his attention was fixed upon the Pandava army. Now, he is deliberately turning towards his own side. But perhaps even more revealing is the way he addresses his teacher. He calls Dronacharya Dvijottamam, the best among the twice born. In the Indian tradition, this title is reserved for the most respected among the Brahmins, those who devote their lives to knowledge, discipline, and spiritual learning. By addressing Drona in this manner, Duryodhana reminds him not merely of his greatness as a warrior, but of his stature as a revered teacher. A teacher expected to embody wisdom, restraint, compassion, and impartiality. Perhaps Duryodhana is also mindful of the special affection Drona has always shown toward his most accomplished disciple Arjuna. By addressing him with such reverence at this crucial moment, he appears to gently draw Drona's attention away from personal affection and towards his duty as the commander of the Kaurava army. His choice of words is respectful, carefully chosen, and psychologically significant. Let's see what happens next. Only a few moments ago, Duryodhana's attention was fixed upon the Pandava army. Now his eyes turn towards his own commanders. It is almost as though he is drawing assurance from the mighty warriors who stand beside him. This is a deeply human response. Whenever we become aware of the magnitude of a challenge, our minds instinctively look for assurance and reassurance. We begin recalling our own strengths, our experience, our resources, and the people who stand beside us. Duryodhana appears to be seeking that same reassurance before the battle begins, and he begins introducing the great warriors of the Kaurva army.
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च
The meaning of the above shloka is there are yourself, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, ever victorious in battle, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and Bhurishrava, the son of Somdatta. Kripacharya is described as Samitinjaya, meaning one who is victorious in battle. The title reminds us that he was not only a respected teacher but also an accomplished warrior. The name Somadati refers to Bhurishrava, the son of Somdatta, another distinguished commander in the Kaurva army. Let's interpret this narration. Having spoken of his army, Duryodhan now begins naming the warriors in whom he places his greatest faith. He starts with Dronacharya himself, the commander of the Kaurva army, a master of military science, and one of the greatest teachers the world has ever known. Next comes Bhishma, the grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, a warrior whose courage, experience, and unwavering vows had earned him the respect of friends and foes alike. To the Kaurva army, Bhisham was far more than a commander. He was its greatest source of confidence. Duryodhana then names Karan, one of the finest archers of his age, a warrior whose loyalty to Duryodhana never wavered. Yet beneath this display of unity, there existed an uncomfortable reality. Bhishma and Karan did not always agree. Bhishma often questioned Karan's judgment and even declared that as long as he commanded the army, Karan would not fight under his leadership. Despite these differences, Duryodhana never lost faith in his closest friend. Next, he names Kripacharya, calm, disciplined, and immensely skilled. Kripa was renowned not only for his mastery of warfare but also for his wisdom and composure even in the most difficult of situations. Then comes Ashwathama, the son of Dronacharya, a fearless warrior whose fierce determination would make him one of the most controversial figures in the entire Mahabharata. Next, Duryodhana mentions Vikarna. Among all the Kaurava brothers, Vikarna occupies a unique place. When Draupadi was disrobed and humiliated in the royal court, almost everyone remained silent. Vikarna alone had the courage to question that terrible injustice. Though he stood on the Kaurava side, his conscience never completely abandoned him. His presence reminds us that even among those who choose the wrong side, there may still remain a voice that recognizes the difference between the right and the wrong.
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः.
The meaning of this verse is, and there are many other brave warriors ready to lay down their lives for my sake. They are armed with many kinds of weapons and are all skilled in the art of warfare. Let's try to understand some important words in Shloka 9. Let's see the literal meaning. Tyakta Jivita, it literally means those who have given up concern for their lives. It describes warriors who are fully prepared to sacrifice their lives for the cause they believe in. Nana Shastra Praharna means armed with many kinds of weapons. It emphasizes their military preparedness and their mastery over different weapons. Yuddha Visharda means experts in warfare. These were not ordinary soldiers, but seasoned warriors trained in the art of battle. Let's cast a glance at its explanation. Having named the principal commanders of his army, Duryodhana now widens the picture. He reminds Dronacharya that the strength of the Kaurava army does not rest upon a handful of great warriors alone. Behind them stand countless others, brave soldiers, experienced fighters, masters of many weapons, men prepared to sacrifice their very lives for his cause. These words reflect immense faith in his own aptitude, in his own standing. Duryodhana believes his army is powerful, well trained, and fully prepared for the battle ahead, yet beneath that assurance, there is another thought quietly taking shape. He continues to measure strength by the size of his army, the skill of his warriors, and the weapons they carry. It is this way of thinking that the Bhagavad Gita will gradually invite us to look beyond. Let's reflect over these three verses. The Mahabharata never suggests that courage, discipline, or military strength are unimportant. They are essential, no doubt, in every great endeavor. But strength alone is never sufficient in itself. Throughout history, powerful kingdoms have risen and fallen. Great armies have won battles only to lose what mattered most. The Bhagavad Gita asks us a deeper question: what gives strength its direction? What ensures that courage is used for the right purpose? What prevents power from becoming arrogance? The answer lies in dharma. Without dharma, strength may achieve victory for a moment, but only dharma can sustain a lasting victory. This is the profound truth that Lord Krishna will soon begin to unfold. Let's reflect over what relevance has Bhagavad Gita and these particular shlokas for our life experiences. In our own lives, we too prepare ourselves for challenges. We build knowledge, develop skills, gather resources, and seek the support of those around us. All these are important, but Bhagavad Gita reminds us that there is something even greater. Our knowledge must be guided by wisdom, our abilities by humility, our ambitions by righteousness, for true success is measured not merely by what we achieve, but by the path we choose to achieve it. As Duryodhana continues introducing the mighty warriors of the Kaurava army, the stage is now fully set for the great dialogue that will change the course of human thought. In the next episode, we shall see how Duryodhana continues describing the strength of his own army before the events on the battlefield take an unexpected turn. Until then, let's remember true strength does not lie only in power, it lies in the wisdom to use that power for the cause of Dharma.
ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम्।